So, week 6, the Eagles' week 6 matchup is in the book, and it ends with a loss, another loss. The Eagles' 4th loss of the season. And a lot of people are wondering, who is to blame? Who is to blame for the woes that we have seen of this Eagles team in 2021? Is it Nick Sirianni? Is it Harry Roseman? Is it Gannon? Is it Jalen Hurts? The defense? It's a combination of all of them. It really is a combination of all of them. But it all comes back to one man. That man is Harry Roseman. Since the Eagles' 2017 Super Bowl season, which now seems like it was an eternity ago now, one man has led the ship. One man has made the moves, the hirings, the firings, the drafting, and that man is Harry Roseman. It all comes back to him. He was the one that fired Doug Peterson. He was the one that, before firing Doug Peterson, that made, that hired Mike Groh, that made him the offensive coordinator that year. He was a guy that drafted Jalen Hurts. He was a guy that hired Nick Sirianni. He was a guy that hired Gannon. You guys get what I'm saying. It all comes back to Harry Roseman. The man who cannot draft worth a damn. Cannot draft. Just almost every damn draft pick under him has been a complete, colossal failure. Complete failure. There's only been a handful that have actually, that have actually turned out well. That 2017 draft, we only had one player from that draft still on his roster, and he should be on his way out pretty soon as well. Of course, you guys know I'm talking about Derek Barnett. So, this team has just been on a downward spiral, and it just continues to get worse and worse and worse. Harry Roseman is the cancer to this team. Besides handling the cap, besides being, managing the cap, which is also debatable how well he is with the cap. Besides that, Roseman has been a failure, absolute failure. He's been a cancer. Let me talk a little bit about Nick Sirianni, because Nick Sirianni, I told you guys last night in my post-game video that Nick Sirianni, I'm done with this dude, man. The dude does not, he does not know how to coach. He truly does not. He is a terrible coach, absolutely atrocious coach. When he was with the Colts, he came from a run-heavy offense. When he was the offensive coordinator with the Colts, he comes into the Eagles, he barely want to run a damn football. Miles Sanders had 1 carry in the first half. 1 carry. That is freaking unacceptable. Beyond unacceptable. And I know Miles Sanders is getting frustrated. I know he's getting angry. Because if I was him, I would feel the same way. I don't give a damn if the Buccaneers have the #1 run defense in the league. I don't care. You have to run that football. You have to get that defense on their on their heels. You have to at least try to run the ball. 1 carry in the first half is beyond unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It really is. He's trying too much. He's putting way too much on his young quarterback's shoulders. He's putting way too much on Jalen Hurts' shoulders. He really is, man. And Jalen Hurts is trying too much as well. His accuracy was definitely very off that game. He overthrew receivers. He underthrew receivers. So yeah, Jalen Hurts does not get a pass either. He played terrible, of course. And I know people are going to say, well, you can't blame the coach for, Jalen Hurts throwing that interception there. That was a terrible overthrown ball by Hurts. Well, yes, you can. You can, because at the end of the day, it is up to the coach to see these issues with the quarterback and work with the quarterback to improve those. And we're not seeing that. We're still seeing the same thing from Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Whatever type of coaching that he is claiming to be doing, it's not working. It's not working. Before we can send Nick Sirianni, before we can send Gannon, any of those guys packing, one guy needs to go before them, and that guy is Harry Roseman. He needs to go before anybody. We're gonna have potentially 3 early first round draft picks next draft. And I don't want Harry Roseman hands on any of those draft picks, because with our luck, we all know that Harry Roseman will probably just draft a damn kicker, a banged up wide receiver, a banged up punter. Who knows? He will find a way to screw up all 3 of those early, top, top 10 draft picks of next year's draft. Now, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, I'm not impressed. I'm trying to, I'm trying to be patient with Jalen Hurts, but I will not be against the Eagles drafting a quarterback next year. I will not be against that. Jalen Hurts, man. I blame him for the mistakes that he made, but I also blame the coaching for putting him in those positions, not putting him in a good position to be successful. I blame Sirianni for that. But what I'm seeing for Jalen Hurts, I'm not seeing anything to be impressed by. I'm not seeing anything that says, okay, we got our future franchise quarterback. We got our franchise quarterback with Jalen Hurts. I'm not seeing it. So I'm fine with the Eagles moving on from Jalen Hurts as the starter next season. I'm fine with that. We still got many more games left to go this year, but for what I'm seeing right now, I'm really not impressed with the kind of Jalen Hurts. He shows some flashes here and there, but then he reverts back to doing, making some very terrible decision making with the football. But once again, it goes back to the coaching. Coaching has been atrocious. They're clearly allergic to running the football. They don't like running the football, and if I was Miles Sanders, I will be requesting a trade right now. Miles Sanders is a Pro Bowl, a potential Pro Bowl running back, but the problem is that he's not being utilized to his best. He's not being used. Like I said, I don't care how good the Buccaneers run defense was. Only give me your running back, your star running back, 1 carry in the first half is unacceptable. His offense is so predictable. The RPO system that he's trying to run with Jalen Hurts, the run option, where it mostly ends with Jalen Hurts running, it's not fooling anybody. It's not fooling a damn person. There's no innovation whatsoever in Nick Sirianni's offense. None at all. And these defenses, the Buccaneers defense, they read it very well last night, especially when when the Eagles were throwing these screen passes, the Buccaneers picked that up very well. They were not fooled whatsoever by the Eagles offense at all. It's such a very predictable offense. Defenses know exactly what's coming every single time they drop back a snap. And this overuse of the shotgun, I like the shotgun, don't get me wrong, but it is way overused on Nick Sirianni. Get on the center and run that ball from on the center. Take pressure off your running back. Off your quarterback. Take pressure off your quarterback. Run the damn football. Because you got a young quarterback here who is inexperienced. He is still, he's in his second year, but he's pretty much a rookie. He's pretty much a rookie. Even though he's in his first year, his second year, he's pretty much a rookie. This is his first year being a starter. So you gotta take pressure off your quarterback. You can't sit here and make your quarterback throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, especially a young quarterback with very little experience. This was only his 10th NFL start. So yeah, with Nick Sirianni, man, I'm over this guy. I wasn't a fan of the hire when we hired him. And it's quite clear the reason why Harry Roseman hired him. He hired this guy because he wanted a puppet. Plain and simple. Doug Peace in his last year was finally starting to stick up for himself. He was finally starting to speak out. What happened to Doug Pearson? He got fired. Nick Sirianni was hired. Nobody else wanted Nick Sirianni. Nobody wanted Nick Sirianni. No other team had him on their radar. He hired Nick Sirianni plain and simple because he saw a guy that was not going to question or challenge what he was doing. And that's why Nick Sirianni is here right now. He's not here because of his coaching ability, because as we see, he has none. He's a terrible coach. He does not make adjustments. He does not like running the football. Even though he came from a pass-happy offense, a run-happy offense with the Colts, here in Philadelphia, he's like allergic to running the football. And a part of me has a question: is it really him that's running the offense, or is it really Harry Roseman that is pulling the strings? Is it Harry Roseman that's telling him to make sure that that we're not running the ball, that we're passing the football? Is that Harry Roseman? I really question that at this point, because Nick Sirianni is clearly Harry Roseman's puppet, and as long as Harry Roseman is running things, this is just we're gonna see the same thing year after year after year. It's that simple. As long as the cancer, Harry Roseman, is here, nothing's gonna change. Nothing is going to change. And as an Eagle fan, it's just beyond frustrating seeing the same thing week after week after week after week. Harry Roseman is living off of that Super Bowl championship for 2017, which is now been over 4 seasons ago. It's been over 4 seasons since that, and he is still living off of that. And his drafting, his choice of who he hires, it's been horrible. It's been atrocious. And like I said, as long as he is calling those shots, this will be the result every single season. It will be. I love my Birds. I'm always going to root on my Birds, but watching this team play, it makes me sick to my damn stomach. It makes me sick. It makes me absolutely sick. Like I said, I'm fine with moving on for Sirianni, his coaching staff, because they're all terrible. They're all terrible. Every single one of the coaches that we have on our staff are terrible at their jobs. So I'm definitely fine with moving on for Sirianni this all season. But if he's gonna pack his bags and leave, then so does Harry Roseman. He needs to pack his bags and go as well. Other than managing the cap, which is, like I said, questionable as well. Other than that, the guy is terrible. He's absolutely horrible. And at this point, I sit here and wonder, does he have something embarrassing on Jeffrey Lurie? Like, why is Jeffrey Lurie continuing to keep Harry Roseman employed by this organization? I really don't get it. I really don't. So, last year, Doug Peterson, even though you can say he probably deserved to be fired, he was the scapegoat for the failures of Harry Roseman. He truly was. And the fact that Harry Roseman the fact that this guy let Travis Fulgham go, but a clown like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who has just been a complete bust, the fact that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is still on this roster and Travis Fulgham was released by the Eagles, that should tell you everything you need to know. Harry Roseman, when it comes to evaluating talent, absolutely freaking sucks. He's terrible. He is possibly the worst general manager in the league right now. If not the worst, he's definitely in the top 10. Terrible. I remember the draft last draft where he made a pick in that draft, and they had the camera on the Eagles draft room. Harry Roseman is going to get trying to get a high five from everybody. He was trying to get a high five, but what guy you could clearly tell was not happy at all. He was not very happy about the draft pick, and he did not give Roseman a high five at all. Eagles, like I said, the Eagles are going to have 3 first-round picks next year, possibly top 10 first-round picks. But with this guy being the one that's drafting the talent, I don't know. I can see many scenarios where he could screw up all 3 of those picks. Because when it comes to his first-round picks, especially the ones in recent years, the only one you can really say was a good pick so far is DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith's the only one in recent years that we can really say is turned out to be a pretty good pick. Because Andre Dillard was an absolute bust. Derek Barnett, not necessarily a bust, but he has not lived up to that first round, stat pick that he was for us. Jalen Reagor definitely has not lived up to what he was supposed to be either. He showed some flashes here and there, but he's not living up to be a first round pick at all. So, when it comes to drafting, when it comes to this team as a whole, man, it's just frustrating. It's just beyond frustrating seeing the same crap week after week, hell, year after year, because this decline in the Eagles, it started after their Super Bowl season, and it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. And once again, like I said, it all comes back to one man, and that one man is Harry Roseman. He was the one that hired Nick Sirianni as the head coach. He was the one that hired that terrible coaching staff that Nick Sirianni's coaching staff. He was the one that drafted Jalen Hurts. He is the problem. He is the biggest problem. Like I said, I want Nick Sirianni gone, but if Nick Sirianni's going to be gone, if Gannon's going to be gone, that coaching staff is going to be gone, then Harry Roseman needs to be packing his bags as well, and he needs to be gone after this season. It's as simple as that. As long as that the cancer Harry Roseman is running this organization, not a damn thing is going to change. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Nick Sirianni is not qualified to coach a Pee-wee team, much less an NFL franchise. He could. You listen to this guy talk in post game or whatever, interviews, whatever, press conferences. It's always the same garbage every single week. You clearly see a guy who's like a deer in headlights. Like, how the hell did this guy get hired for a head coaching job? Well, it's plain simple. Roseman wanted a puppet. He wanted someone that was not gonna challenge his decision making, and he got that with Nick Sirianni. So this all falls back on Harry Roseman. Nick Sirianni should not be coaching, he should not be a head coach in the NFL. He is a complete idiot of a coach, and it just gets worse and worse every single week. The 2 wins that we had were because we played teams that, who made us look better than what we really were. The Falcons are just, they're that bad. The Panthers, I wasn't buying them when they started off undefeated, and it's just showing that the mistakes that Sam Darnold made in that game, that really kept the Eagles in that game. We came back and won that game, but yeah, it wasn't because of good coaching by Nick Sirianni whatsoever. Nick Sirianni is terrible, and he should not be coaching, be a head coach in the NFL. I want him gone after this season, but like I said, it all falls back to Harry Roseman. Harry Roseman has had many years here in Philadelphia. He's had many years here, and his drafting has been throughout his time here in Philadelphia has been pretty terrible, especially when it comes to first round picks. Absolutely atrocious. So, we got more season here to play. We got the Raiders coming up this week. So we got a long season still ahead of us, but once this team gets to 7, 8 losses, then it's pretty much tank mode after that, because this team is not going anywhere anyway. They're gonna get to 7, 8 losses at this point, because what I'm seeing right now, they're gonna get about another 4 or 5, possibly 6 losses, or even more. Who knows? But that's where they're heading at right now. And once that happens, it's tank mode. It's time to start preparing for the future. That means preparing for a new head coach, preparing for possibly a new quarterback, but most certainly a new general manager, somebody that is going to come in here that knows what they're doing. They're only focused on winning, not their own ego, which is what Roseman is focused on, his own ego. That's why he hired Nick Sirianni. He wanted a puppet that was not going to challenge him. Similar to what, because Chip Kelly challenged him, and it didn't pay off, obviously, but he doesn't want another situation like Chip Kelly, where Chip Kelly, got the general manager powers because he wasn't liking what Roseman was doing. Now, I'm not saying we need to, the next head coach we hire, we need to give him that type of power, but we need a general manager that's going to work with the head coach and get the pieces in here that the head coach actually wants on his team. So yeah, there's definitely got to be a lot of moves, made this all season with this team, man, because if Roseman is still here calling the shots, we're gonna see the same crap year after year after year. It's as simple as that. I had to make this video, man, because after that loss last night, I was just sitting here, like, really just really thinking, man, like deep thinking, because after a loss like that, man, it really, you just really reflect on what you're seeing when it comes to this team. And everybody can blame Sirianni, everybody can blame Jalen Hurts, everybody can blame Gannon. And don't get me wrong, all those guys have been pretty damn bad. But once again, it all goes back to Howie Roseman. All goes back to Howie Roseman. Until we get rid of the cancer of Howie Roseman, nothing is going to change. That's all I had to say, man. We'll see what they do against the Raiders on Sunday. So it's a 4 o'clock Eastern game. We'll see. The Raiders obviously had their drama with the whole, John Gruden situation, but we'll see what happens. But as always, go Birds. Spunky 991 is out of here. Flag or fly. Peace.